Hi, I'm Chef Adam Moore.
And I'm nutrition scientist Dr. Flav.
And we're here to show you some culinary and nutrition tips and tricks all about mushrooms. Now, Dr. Flav, some people confuse that mushrooms are truly a vegetable. That's not correct, right?
That's right. So mushrooms are neither plant nor animal, and they belong to the third food kingdom called fungi. Because of that, they have unique culinary and nutritional properties that make them truly an X-factor culinary ingredient.
Thanks to their great umami taste and fantastic unique texture, you can use mushrooms as a flavour booster across many dishes like mince, stews and casseroles.
And in doing so, you're also boosting the nutritional content of that meal.
You can be more cost effective or increase your yield in your recipe by substituting mushrooms for your mince. You can replace 30% in your recipe without changing flavour, texture, or adjusting the liquid in your recipe. So, Dr. Flav, something I've discovered, most people think that they can replace mushrooms as a protein, but that's not correct, is it?
That's right. So mushrooms do contain some protein, but not at the same level that you'd find in meat. If you're looking to make a plant-based dish that has equivalent protein to the meat-based dish, then you can simply add a cup of legumes like chickpeas, beans, or lentils, or even a handful of nuts. Now, Chef, what are your tips for selecting Australian white mushrooms?
Great question. They should be firm, smooth all around, dry but not dried out, and plump. One of the great tips that we need to remember is to keep the product in their original storage packaging, or use a porous brown paper bag. This can prolong your shelf life and keep your mushrooms for up to a week in the refrigerator.
And the vitamin D lasts that long too. It's really easy to prepare your Australian mushrooms. Simply use a damp cloth, wipe them down, or a brush to dust off any dirt. You don't need to peel them or chop off the stem because a lot of goodness is actually in the skin and the stem.
To get the most out of your mushrooms, you need to degrade the cell wall. One of the great tips for this is drying, freezing, or boiling the mushroom. By doing this, this allows the fat and the seasonings to penetrate the mushroom.
And here's a fun fact. If you don't want dry, flavorless mushrooms, then try shallow boiling the mushrooms first and then adding the fat.
Great idea, because one of my favourite recipes is putting about 200 grams into the pan with 10 grams of butter, 50 mils of water and my seasonings. Bring to a boil so that water evaporates, then saute to golden brown, and it tastes fantastic. So doctor, what else can mushrooms give us nutritionally?
Well, it's as easy as A, B, C, D. So mushrooms have antioxidants. It's the largest dietary source of ergothioneine, a very powerful antioxidant. It has B, bioactives and B vitamins. C, chitin, which is a prebiotic fiber that helps feed the good bugs in the gut that also give it that beautiful texture. And D, it's one of the only natural and vegan sources of vitamin D. 100 grams of mushrooms, or 1 portobello, or about 3 cup mushrooms, or 5 button, will provide you with 20% of your daily vitamin D needs. Or simply put them out in the sun for about 15 minutes, and the mushrooms will produce 100% of your vitamin D needs. So enjoy them for all their delicious glory.
Mushrooms are truly the X factor.